as of right now, with wickets having falling, tumbling all around us actually, 29 runs on the board, 4 wickets down, it may not make sense to look at projections because I don't know that you can look at any projections from here. Right now, job one is just to steady the ship. You just want to stem the flow of wickets. But as of right now, the Texas Legends are all over the TCC Kings, and their decision, the TCC Kings to bat first, is not looking the way that they thought it would have looked. Starting with the run out of the captain Arjun Mahesh, and the wickets have tumbled since then. Here's the new first delivery, played off the back foot, running down the hill. Should at least be a couple here. Nope, just one. Good work by Aravashok to run back from backward point. Immediately off the mark is Ritvik Ramesh. But again, 3 deliveries remaining now in over number 5. This really is going to be a repair job that is needed by this pair now, Ritvik Ramesh and Srihan Chala. Chala, who's only scored 1 from 5 balls faced. And at about a year, 3 wickets. 3 of the 4 wickets to have fallen are in his name. And they say sometimes that great bowlers hunt in pairs. I'll tell you what I mean by that after this ball. In fact, he pulls out of his run-up, so that gives us a chance to talk about what I mean by that statement. If you have 2 bowlers who are bowling brilliantly, they complement each other in the sense that it builds pressure, and that pressure is essentially what can sometimes yield or lead to wickets being taken. This one going down the leg side and wide, signaled by umpire Sagar Babsar. Handful of wides, 3 wides already in this match and 1 no ball, so those are your 4 extras. But as to the point I was making about great bowlers hunting in pairs, if you have 1 bowler who is essentially blocking one end, Aaron Connolly, 2 overs, none for 9, so you're not scoring off of him really, apart from a couple of loose deliveries. Down the leg side again, yet another wide delivery. So a couple of gifts being given here to the TCC Kings. But that is the way that you build pressure. When you build pressure, you take wickets. That has happened so far. 32 runs on the board. You're going to want a lot more than that, you would think. 3 deliveries remaining here, still in over number 5. About a year. Again now to Srihan Chala. Good delivery and well played, but Rishi Ramesh, who's put himself into a short cover position, catching position, because I think he sensed that the ball is just stopping a little bit on the batters, not coming through. The pitch itself is a little sluggish, it's very damp, so the ball not coming through and not, you're expecting for that ball to stop just a little bit and present some catching opportunities. I'm thinking that's why he's put himself in that position. Unfortunately here though, another wide. So 3 wides in this over, so you're already working on a 9-ball over. Still 3 deliveries to go.
Have a Phillips screwdriver somewhere? Phillips screwdriver.
Thanks. Again, this is going to be at least a 9-ball over. 3 wides already. And looking to see how you can sort of calm things down. At about a year, bowled well, has taken 3 wickets, but you don't want to be loose. You don't want to help them score. And now 2 deliveries still remaining. Outside off, yet another wide. So yes, it's going to be an expensive over. It's going to be a 10-ball over. 9 runs already from it. And we're looking to see now if he can just simply keep that ball on an off-stump line. Doesn't look to be swinging much. I don't think it's the case where the ball is starting out straight enough and then swinging to miss the area just inside that line. That's a better delivery. Oh, I thought it was a better delivery. Just is still wide. So 5 wides on the trot now, it feels like. And so this is going to be a really long over. He's bowling essentially 2 overs in one because, of course, an over is 6 legal deliveries. And if you're bowling wides, those are not legal deliveries. At lower levels of cricket, at lower levels of youth cricket, maybe you have 7, 8, 9-year-olds playing, there can sometimes be the stipulation that you cap the number of wides. So sometimes, let's say, the idea would be a maximum of 2 wides in an over, and then you give maybe 2 or 3 bonus runs, and so you have the situation where the over doesn't go on forever. Not at this level. Going around the wicket now, and that looks a little bit better. Similar type of delivery, but from around the wicket, that affords him just that much more room, and that delivery is played into the offside for a single. Now the last ball coming up, 11 runs from the over already, 5 of which are wides. So he'll certainly want to clean that up. When you go around the wicket, you essentially eliminate a few potential dismissals, but right now the idea is to get it on the stumps. Full, played into the offside single that is fielded by Aravashok. Oh no, a no ball. Missed it when it happened. A no ball and a free hit. Oh, this is turning out into a really shocking over because a single, but it was a no ball. Bowling from around the wicket. So with the change in strike, if it's a no ball and the same batter is on strike, then you cannot change the field. But because they ran a single, it does mean that you get to change the field. And so now Rishi Ramesh has brought in the sweeper, and the 2 fielders in the deep for this last ball up over number 5 are long on and long off. Free hit coming up. Swings for the fences, down the ground. It should just be a single. Fielder who was dropped back at long on for that exact shot, and it's a direct hit from down here at long on. It's a good piece of fielding by Priyadarshan Aravind Kumar. Free hit only cost them 1 run, so from that standpoint, they are lucky. And that's the end of an eventful over. 14 runs coming from it, a wicket, a no ball, a number of wides. And at the end of 5, the score is 39 for 4. Starting over number 6, first delivery, played into the deep third area for a single. Aaron Connolly really bowling well. 2 overs so far, make that 2.1, none for 10. And I think, as I said earlier, his bowling has built enough pressure that it's created the environment where the batters are a little bit tentative, and that's where a few wickets have fallen so far. Here he is again. Good delivery, played into the offside, no run. Good start. Ritvik Ramesh, 2 from 2. Srihan Chala, 4 from 9. And the overall state of the innings so far for the TCC Kings is that right now they're just trying to survive. They're just trying to put together a decent partnership. So the last wicket fell In fact, we'll go over that in just a second. Just looking at where you are right now. Big picture, 44-4. Arjun Mahesh run out for 1. Aryan Tamala 12. Ajay Prithviraj 9. And Zavir Gudapati 4. Those are your 4 who have been dismissed. And Srihan Chala and Rithvik Ramesh are now at the wicket trying to clean things up. The 4th wicket fell at 29. So they're trying to build a little bit of a partnership. Partnership now worth some 11. Most of those are extras though. Full, driven square, but it was in the air for a little bit. Backward point might have just thought that he might have had a catching opportunity. But he'll take the single, so that brings, we're 3 delivers remaining, make that 2 delivers remaining here in the power play. 41 runs is not necessarily a bad score for the power play, but those 4 wickets that have fallen will hurt greatly. Just looking to find some way of being able to get some productivity, some momentum. Next delivery, what a great delivery. Kisses the edge and he is gone. Another brilliant delivery, this time from Aaron Conley. Sometimes you bowl so well that the deliveries are so good the batters can't get bat on it. This one kisses the outside edge. And yet another catch taken by a wicketkeeper, Karthik Dorairaj, diving away to his right to snap that edge up about 3 or 4 inches off the ground. Umpire Cameron Best raising the finger, and that is the end of Srihan Chala. Wicket number 5. You have lost half your side inside the power play after having chosen to bat first. This is really a tragic start for the TCC Kings. Srihan Chala dismissed 4 overs, make that 4 runs scored from 10 with no boundaries, and the TCC Kings are 41 for 5. Really, this is going to be a difficult situation from which to extricate themselves. Extras really are keeping them in the game. 9 extras so far. Without those extras, they're 32 runs, just 32 runs coming from the bats and 5 wickets down. That's generally not a good formula for success if you're a batting side. And where you are now, as I said, with half the side back in the pavilion, Rithvik Ramesh 3 from 5, and the new batter is going to have to do something to help stem the flow, the steady flow of wickets, because all of this is happening all at once. And you're going to have to do something to save the situation. Here he is again. Great delivery. Oh, going over the top. Going for that big drive. Long run for the sweeper. Not going to be able to get there. So that is one way to grab the bull by the horns. It was in the slot. And he drilled it away over the top. That is the end of over number 5. An expensive, or over number 6 rather, an expensive end to the over. But yet another over in which a wicket fell. 4 runs, make that 5 runs coming from the over. 32 runs have scored from the last 5, but unfortunately for the TCC Kings, they've lost 5 wickets inside the power play. End of 6, 45 for 5. $45 for 5. Aravashak with the ball in hand, and he'll be bowling from the forest end, which is the northern end of the ground here in Prairie View. Not much wind today. In fact, just a very slight wind coming in from the south. So he'll be running into the wind, Aravashak. Had an active day in the field. Dropped a catch earlier, but fielded well for the most part. Now being asked to do his thing with the ball. Bowling now to Rithvik Ramesh. By the way, the new batter is Moksh Gupta. Gupta faced 1 ball. Scored a 4. Got a loose delivery, full in the slot outside off, and he elevated it over the top of the covers for a boundary. But looking now, standing at the other end, as this delivery from Shock. A little bit interesting type of delivery. It's almost like Malinga type of delivery, the slingy action that comes from, if you think from, if somebody of my vintage would know bowlers like Jeff Thompson from Australia in the 1970s or Fidel Edwards later. This is drilled away into the deep, but there's coverage out there, so just a single. So it's an interesting type of delivery. Not by any means one that you see very often, but there have been, again, some bowlers in the past who have been able to excel with that type of delivery. I mentioned Jeff Thompson, also Fidel Edwards, Lasith Malinga would be the three who I would think are most sort of synonymous with that type of action. One run rather, from his first two deliveries here. This one going down the leg side. And there is a signal, just another wide. So just, again, some cleanup work needing to be done here by these bowlers. Generally speaking, if they have not bowled well, it's because they've been spraying the ball around. The lines have not been consistent. And there have been no left-handed batters so far. So you don't think that bowlers of this caliber would be spraying the ball. So oh, this is going to be an edge that goes over the top of the keeper for 4. So that was a better line, much better line actually, on an off-stump line. And he poked at this one tentatively, Moksh Gupta, and it goes away over the top for a boundary. Literally over the top of the keeper. So when that happens, nobody's going to be in the deep. Wait, what did I miss? He's going off. I think I may have just missed a wicket. My apologies. Whatever just happened. I said it went away off the edge. He actually bowled him. I missed that. The ball flew in the direction over the top of the keeper. But the reason it did that was because it kissed off of the off stump. I completely missed that when it happened. My apologies. I was criticizing the bowler. He actually bowled a perfect delivery, unplayable, and it kissed the top of the stumps for wicket number 6. How in the world did I miss that? My apologies. But all of that means that another wicket has fallen, and my goodness, this is a real body blow as the new batter is in now, looking to drive this into the offside. Rishi Ramesh, who is in the covers prowling and must be very happy with the production of his bowlers, because they have absolutely wrenched this game firmly in the direction of the legends. 47 for 6 is not a number that you'd be looking to be proud of. Still just 1 over out of the power play. And wrapping him on the pad. And he's given him. Oh my goodness. Yet another wicket goes down. 47 now becomes 7. So it was full, it was straight. And it was, I think, tailing in toward leg stump. I want to take a second look at that, but I think that would have taken out leg. We'll get a better look here as we see on this replay here. And my goodness, it asked the question and it was tailing in toward the stumps. If the batter had a complaint, it may have been that the ball may possibly have been kissing the stump instead of smashing into it. But that does not matter. The only thing that matters is the decision of umpire Sagar Bapsar, where he believed that would have done enough to disturb the furniture. So that is yet another wicket. 2 wickets down in this over, the first being bowled by Shock. more than making up for the drop that he had earlier in this match. That in fact that seems like such a thing of the past at this point. Because right now the question might be whether or not the TCC Kings can actually bat 20 overs. As of right now, they are struggling, absolutely struggling, down and out. The new batter is going to be Ansh Bakhta. Ansh Bakhta, new to the crease. Ritvik Ramesh at the other end, 4 from 7. And wickets falling, tumbling all over the place. And I'll tell you, this is not going to be something that you'll be happy about if you're the TCC Kings. Here's the first delivery to Ansh Bakhta down the leg side, and the keeper cannot collect it. So this will be 2 runs to the total, 2 wides. Waiting to see, yep, 2 wides, signal here by umpire Sagar Bavsar. So a really just tumultuous start to this game for the TCC Kings. Again, choosing to bat, but they've lost 7 wickets. You're into the 7th over. Arav Ashok, his first over, a couple of wides so far, but my goodness, what a way that they've come back from an indifferent start in the field. A couple of drops early on, but the bowlers, I think, have more than made up for it. Played to square leg. That's not going to yield any runs. And that is just going to be a dot to close things out here in over number 7. Brilliant, brilliant start with the ball for the Texas Legends. The score after 7 is 49 for 7. First delivery, this is going to be, a couple of things happening here. It's going to be a no ball, signaled by umpire Cameron Best. It's going to be a free hit, and they stole a single at the same time. So a whole lot that just happened from that first delivery here in over number 8. Boy, it's being bowled, by the way, by Arav Soni. So a couple of deliveries from the very first ball, or a couple of runs, and this next delivery is going to be a free hit. Here's a free hit delivery. Swipe and a miss for no run. So the free hit doesn't cost them. You'll accept that. Arav Soni now just looking to recover from that type of start, an inauspicious start, but he's a good bowler, left arm fast bowler, bowling from over the wicket. So looking to curl that ball back into the right-handed batters. Good delivery. So he's looking to curl that ball in, but that one pitched and left the right-handed Ritvik Ramesh. It's a good start and a good comeback delivery. $49 for 7, make that 51 for 7. Nothing near the start that this pair would have wanted when their team decided to bat first. Played off the back foot, running down to deep third for a single. Long way to go in this match, of course, but one gets the sense that things have sort of gone entirely the way of the legends. Looking to flash this one away over the top. Another one that goes by the outside edge. And the struggles continue for the TCC Kings. 7 wickets down. We have not even talked projections. They actually are not scoring at a very bad rate. They're scoring at the rate of 7 runs and over, 6.93 to be specific. But if you lose 7 wickets, then your average scoring average isn't going to be very indicative, as this one goes by the outside edge again. Not going to be very indicative of where you'll end up, because in all likelihood, having lost 7 inside 8 overs, really they lost 7 inside 7 overs. So the question that you'll ask is, can you bat through the overs? So 6.93 and over. Actually, after that dot ball, the scoring rate dropped to 6.78. That projects to 136, but 136 is a long way off when you're 7 wickets down. What a great delivery again. Past the outside edge, a little bit more bounce this time as keeper up to the stumps. Takes it, another dot to close things out. Over number 8 is done. 3 runs coming from the over. And the score after 8 is 52 for 7. $52 for 7. 50 or Arav Ashok with a good first over. Now bowling his second from the forest end. Driven past the bowler himself, but can't get past mid-off. So good start to the over. Dot ball to start things out off here in over number 9. We're not even at the halfway stage of this innings in terms of its schedule length. But 52 runs on the board, not a whole heck of a lot, but the bigger concern here is the 7 wickets that have fallen. And we'll see exactly what can happen here. Oh, attacking the body with this one, bouncing up awkwardly, and Rithvik Ramesh fending this one off. 5 from 14 has been there for a while. I think his priority is now just to make sure that things don't get out of control. You want to get to the point where you're able to sort of maybe steady the ship and then launch some sort of attack towards the back end of the innings, but they're a long way away from doing that. This is down the leg side, and it's going to be not a wide, because I believe that flicked off of the body of the batter maybe. Either way, it did flick something, whether it was the bat or the body. It doesn't matter, because not collected cleanly by the keeper, so not a chance for a wicket, but also not a wide, because it touched the body or the bat. Either way, doesn't go as an extra. It's just another dot ball. So last or 2 deliveries now remaining. Played confidently to mid-wicket, but no run. Good piece of fielding there. I said 2 deliveries. I was off by 1. So after that dot ball, it is now 2 deliveries remaining in over number 9. Arvashok, second over. As of now, looking to see if he can capitalize on what has been a good start so far. 2 wickets for 4 runs conceded. So bowling well overall. Next delivery. And this is less than a half-hearted appeal. I don't know that there was much excitement in that appeal, but in any event, nothing doing. I don't think that was threatening the stumps in any way, so it was more a hopeful appeal than anything else. I don't think that they were convinced that that would have been a dismissal. So the last ball of over number 9 is coming up. Aravashok 1.5 overs, 2 for 4. So great start with the ball from him. And the batters, as of right now, don't seem to have an answer. Played back down the ground. In fact, the fielder mid-on coming across. They scramble a single to spoil what would have been a really good maiden by Aravashok, but still an excellent over. At the end of over number 9, the score is 53 for 7. So it's the bowling attack of Arav and Arav. Arav Ashok just bowled, and this is now Arav Soni. And continuing with this brilliant line, just that excellent line for the left-hander from over the wicket, slanting it across and bowling an off-stump length, maybe a fourth stump line rather, and that length just short of driving length, and he's getting good lift from that end. He's a tall bowler, so he's getting good bounce, and he's gone past the outside edge now multiple times in this spell so far. Here he is again. This one again, the same activity, the same action, same line, same length, and he's just absolutely not able to get any bats on it, Rithvik Ramesh. 6 now from 20, so that, I mentioned steadying the ship, so you really have to have that mindset that you're looking to calm things down, but at some point you'll realize that you're eating up a lot of deliveries and you need to score. Doesn't exactly play this one in the most convincing of ways, but he'll get a single down to deep third. 3 deliveries into over number 10, and you're only at 54. So your overall scoring rate is now down to 5.68. So your score projects to 114, but again, that projection assumes that you'll be able to bat through the innings. Swipe and a miss outside off. Attempted stumping. This is brilliant keeping, by the way, because again, he's keeping up to the pace bowler. It's going to be Karthik Darairaj. And it takes a certain amount of skill to be able to do that. And he's able to, not very many pace bowlers like to think that there's a stumping attempt off of their bowling, because it implies somehow that the keeper is comfortable enough to your pace to stand up to the stumps. Looking to swipe this one away, missing out on that attempted swipe through the offside. Yet another dot ball. Runs have absolutely dried up. 3 runs scored in over number 8, 1 run in over number 9, and so far just 1 run here in over number 10 with 1 ball to come. Ansh Bhakta 1 from 6. Rithvik Ramesh 7 from 21. Last ball of over 10 coming up. Wash, rinse, repeat. Same delivery, same result. 1 run from the over, 15 from the last 5. At the end of 10, the score is 54 for 7.
How did it turn around, bro? Just catch that and turn around. Take one support and turn around. Or else just catch that and then land like this.
So 10 overs bowled. 10 overs remaining. In theory, you have another 60 deliveries, but the batters are not being able to score off of the Arav attack. This is Arav a shock. Full toss. Clipped to mid-wicket or to mid-on, they'll get a single to start the second half of this innings. And a lot of repair work left to be done here for the TCC Kings. The batters are Ritvik Ramesh, 7 from 21. Make that now with that single, 8 from 22. And Ansh Bhakta, 1 from 7. He's now on strike. Aravashak into his third over. Down the leg side. He's missed down that line a couple of times. So he'll have to re-bowl this. When you get to the point, as you are in this innings, where even though several wickets have fallen in a really short period of time, 47 was the score at the end of the last wicket. So you've only put on 9 runs, but that was in over number 7. So you've been together now for a while. Lofted in the air, catcher, oh, didn't carry it to mid-off. And quizzical looks all around. I think they may have been wondering why Advait Ayer did not try to put in an effort to dive and get that one as a catch. Put a few catches down. This one, in fairness, did not carry to him, and even had he made an effort to try to get to it, it may not have carried to him, but you wonder why he didn't at least attempt to go for the catch. Next delivery, played into the offside, another dot. So the procession of dot balls continues. As I was making the point a second ago, over number 7 is when the last wicket came. So you're now in over number 11. This pair been together now for about 4 overs. And it may be the point where you start thinking, okay, we can't keep batting, scoring 11 runs in 5 overs, which is what they've done so far. You're going to need to start pushing forward to something outside the line of off, as Aravashuk missing out on his footing, slipping and ending up on the pitch. But it's ultimately just another dot ball. So where you are now is that Aravashuk into his third over has figures of 2 for 7. And it is going to be the case that, again, as I was saying, this pair, Ritvik Ramesh and Ansh Bhakta, having been together now for about 4 overs, may need to start doing that. That will help. Over the top, aggressive, 1 foot or puts a foot down the pitch, lofts it over the top of mid-on, and he gets a boundary. They need a whole lot more of that. It's a very aggressive field because Captain Rishi Ramesh is on full attack, so most of the fielders are inside the circle. There is a fielder down, sweeping on the offside, and there's a deep fine leg. Everyone else inside the circle, so you have scoring opportunities. It's the type of field that you'd face if you're in the power play. And staying on the attack here, Rishi Ramesh, so let's see what the comeback delivery is from Aravashuk. Tries to go over the top again, flies away fine, down to deep third. So that's a single down in that area to close out over number 11. A productive over, about the most productive over that you've seen from the TCC Kings in a long time. 7 runs coming from it. At the end of 11, the score is 61 for 7. 61 for 7. Just 4 bowlers used so far. Advait Ayer and Aaron Conley opened the bowling, 3 overs each. Now it's the attack of Arav and Arav. So every bowler who's bowled so far is named with the first name starting with the letter A. So let's just say, pardon the horrible pun, it's the A team that is bowling here for the Texas Legends, and they're doing excellently. As Arav Soni once again with that left arm over the wicket angle, he has the ball on a string. He's landing it exactly where he wants to. And with the keeper up, it makes it difficult to do anything other than that. Maybe if the keeper was not up, as a batter, you'd want to maybe dance down a couple of steps, try to upset the length or the line of the batter. Can't do that with the keeper standing up to the stumps. And so it is dot ball after dot ball. 2 more dot balls to start here over number 12. My goodness, what an absolute brilliant start. And this one he actually gets bat on. That's the first time that bat has been put to ball from the bowling of Arav Soni in a really long time. But it's just a dot because it goes into that extra cover area. No run. 51 balls remaining in the innings. 61 runs on the board. 7 wickets down. A real question as to whether or not they'll be able to bat out the over or bat out the innings. Now, again, they've steadied the ship. This pair has been together about 5 overs, but swipe and a miss, and again an attempted stumping. That keeper being up to the stumps makes all the difference in the world because it limits your options as a batter. Maybe you'd want to charge down the wicket. Maybe you'd want to move around a little bit, see if he changes line, see if he changes length. But with the keeper right there with the brilliant, brilliant keeping skills, Karthik Dorairaj is not able to get anything going. And he's not able to upset the line or the length of the bowler. In the air toward extra cover, a quick single, fires to the non-strikers, and they'll get an overthrow here. So a bonus run. 2 runs, the first 2 runs that have scored from this over so far with 1 ball remaining. And let's see exactly how well they can do to stem the tide of the tremendous, almost test match-like scoring rate. The last 4 overs, including our last 5, they've only scored 14 to include the last over that went for 7. So runs essentially have dried up. The TCC Kings are struggling here. Last ball, played into the offside. It is right to Arav Ashok. He can hold on to it because he may be bowling the next over, I would think. That's the end of over number 12. The score is 63 for 7. So we'll have some spin for the first time. This should be Pranav Batad bowling from the forest end. Once again, the northern end of the ground here in Prairie View. And he'll take the attack to the TCC Kings. For the first time today, a non-pace bowler will be bowling. And we'll see exactly how he'll be able to do here. Haven't seen much evidence of lateral movement from the pacers. Much of the movement has been with the ball in the air. So we'll see how well the spinner will be able to do here. Arav Soni, 3 overs, none for 6. So brilliant, brilliant bowling by the left-arm pace bowler. Arav Ashok, 3 overs, 2 for 12. So he's been twice as expensive, but has taken 2 wickets. And now Pranav Batad looking to make things happen from a spinner's perspective. Left arm orthodox. And Rishi Ramesh standing at first slip as it's Ansh Bhakta make that Ritvik Ramesh. Oh, I'm sorry, I said left arm orthodox. He's a right arm orthodox bowler. My apologies. Pranav starts with the dot ball, and he's bowling again. Oh, working quickly. Tossed up, driven into the extra cover area. A couple of dots. Looking to start things off here, and this is slowing or maybe you might not just be able to hear the coach yelling at them to bowl quickly. In the air and gone. Or is it? No. Okay. Ballooned up off of something. I thought it was glove for a second, collected by the keeper, but no appeal. So, bit of excitement, no appeal, but there's a dot ball in any event. And they're working very quickly here. Pranav Batad, oh, almost chops that one on. Trickles back to the bowler, so working very quickly. I started saying that you might just be able to hear the coach telling them to go quickly. Don't want this pair to settle. Flighted up and driven down to long on. Should just be a single. Throw coming into the bowler's end. Should just now be 2 balls remaining here in over number 13. And Pranav Batad now bowling to Ritvik Ramesh. Pushes this one through quickly, and the fielding done by Arav Ashok at backward point. Okay, my apologies. I missed the ball there. Either way, just 1 run coming from that over. Brilliant first over by Pranav Batad. The score after 9, after 9, my apologies, after 13 is 64 for 7. 64 for 7. New bowler coming from the highway end is Viraj Ejner. Tossed up in the air, should be another wicket. Easy catch taken. Wicket number 8 goes down. Viraj Ejner brings the breakthrough. All the bowling so far that has taken wickets have been from pace. This time a spinner into the attack with his second delivery. Viraj Ejner strikes. That is the end of Ritvik Ramesh. 64 for 8 is the score. A long, long walk back to the pavilion for Ritvik Ramesh. And this is going to be a really difficult day to deal with for the TCC Kings, as they are absolutely just collapsing again like a house of cards. So quick break for us while the batters come in, or the new batter comes in. We'll go off air just for a minute. $65 for 8. My apologies, 64 for 8. And a really steep hill to climb just got a lot steeper, because with the fall of that wicket, Ritvik Ramesh dismissed. It is Vihan Mehta who's coming to to the crease. Tossed up. Oh, thick outside edge. Runs away down the hill. He may get 4 for this. Oh, tumbling effort by the fielder in the deep. I think if we had had a third umpire or a TV umpire, he might have wanted to look at that. But it's a great effort. Does pull things back. We give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he did enough to pull that back. It went across the rope. So we'll give 2 runs. We had met the off the mark with a thick edge. And Rishi Ramesh now coming into a second slip position, tossed up, and it does go right to Rishi. So a long way of saying that things have changed around a lot in this game. We had Mehta coming in at the very end, usually a top order batter. Leg spinner, turning away from the righty. And this is good bowling. Just 2 runs coming from the over so far. And it was off a thick edge that very easily could have been taken had there been a slip fielder in position at that time. Tossed up. Oh, a lot of flight that time. Driven to mid-off. Throw coming to the keeper's end. But they make it safely. So just a single to close things out here in over number 14. At the end of 14, 3 runs coming from that over. Yet another wicket falls. The score is 67 for 8. Pranav Batad looking to work very quickly here into his second over. Driven into the offside, just a single. So the spinners taking over the job from the Pacers and continuing the pressure, not able to get them away in any way. And they're not able to score in any way. Pranav Batad tosses this one up. Good looking delivery. You might have just heard someone yelling from just off camera. Pranav, slow it down. The voice of the coach of Texas Legends, tossed up again. And this is going to be too wide this time. Trying to tempt him into a rash stroke. And for the most part, his bowling is very difficult. He can be difficult to pick. Going around the wicket now. Pushes this one through. Oh, straight up in the air. The keeper will take wicket number 9. And all of a sudden, a switch to go around the wicket induces an edge with a quicker ball, a leading edge that balloons up into the air, and about the easiest catch that you'll ever see Karthik Raj take. 9 down, and there is legitimately a question to be asked now as to whether or not they'll be able to bat out this innings. They're in over number 15, but the last pair is now coming to the wicket. And with the last pair, the wicket now becomes the case again whether or not can they bat the remaining overs out. 69 for 9. This last pair to go. 3 deliveries to over number 15. And this really is not looking like the type of scorecard that you'd have expected when you chose to bat first, the TCC Kings. So the last pair at the wicket will be going off air. In fact, no, just a second. We'll push this one more quickly. Defended in front of the stumps, no run. The new batter is going to be Mark Sagiababu. flight. Oh, there's a leg slip in position even. Looking to see exactly how you can attack. Just about everybody is inside the circle with the exception of mid-wicket who's halfway back on the ropes. Played into the offside here, no run. And that is the end of the over. End of the over, the score is 69 for 9. So the last pair is in. Mark Babu and Vihan Mehta. Vihan Mehta 6 from 6. Babu has not yet scored from 3 the balls faced. Biraj Ejner with the ball. And one man in the deep at mid-wicket. Everyone else is inside the circle. 2 slips in position. Good delivery. Viraj Ejner finding that line outside the line of off stump. Here he is again. Tossed up. Stroked it past fielder at short cover. They'll get a quick single as they're looking to see exactly how they can prize out this last wicket. Sagi Babu now on strike after that single taken by Bihan Mehta. Raj Ejner again looking to toss it up. Oh, good length right in the block hole. Again, I said he was looking to toss it up. Certainly looking to do that, but also keeping the length on the fuller side. Played into the offside this time. That is Arabashok. No run. Working very quickly here. Of course, when you switch to spinners, you certainly have the opportunity to go through the overs more quickly. Tossed up. Oh, what a great delivery. Half-hearted appeal for a stumping. Good quick work by Durai Raj behind the stumps, but foot firmly grounded behind the crease, so just a little interruption for us to repair the furniture. 2 balls remaining now. Make that 1 ball remaining in over number 16. So you're down to the last 25 balls of the innings. And it may be at this point just trying to find a moral victory in just batting out the remaining 4 overs and 1 ball. And then now all of a sudden, my apologies, that is the end of the over. Okay, so we're working a little bit more quickly than I realized. So tossed up, driven into the offside, a couple of runs at least, you would think. And tortured way of getting that ball back in, but they'll get a couple of runs. So part of the consideration in switching to the spinners is that the innings has to be completed in a certain amount of time. And so you're hearing the exhortations of the coach for them to get through the overs quickly. Appeal for a catch from around the wicket again. Pranav Bhatta not given. And now 2 balls bowled in over number 17. I think the regulation is that you have to be through with the innings inside 100 minutes or something along those lines. But there is an actual penalty for not being through with the innings in time. So that's why the spinners are in operation, and that's why they're being told by the coach to go through very quickly, because you'll certainly want to get through this as quickly as you can. Tossed up in the air should be the wicket that takes the end of the represents the end of the innings. Is taken at mid-off. That is the end of the innings. A woeful performance with the bat from the TCC Kings ends in a lofted catch that is taken easily at mid-off. So 76 all out. Really not going to be happy with those figures, especially again having chosen to bat first. So we'll look at the scorecard. 2 batters got into double figures. Aryan Tamala 12 from 9 with 2 fours. Vihan Mehta 11 from 12 with a 4. But apart from that, just all single-digit scores. The batters just certainly did not come to the party today. For the bowlers, Advait Ayer, 3 overs, 3 for 30. Expensive, easily the most expensive, but also the one who took the most wickets. Aaron Conley bowled well, took 1 wicket, 3 overs, 1 for 15. Arav Ashok, 3 overs, 2 for 12. Arav Soni, I thought, bowled brilliantly, 3 overs, none for 6. Pranav Batad, 2 wickets, 2.4 overs, 5 runs conceded, and Viraj Ejner with 1 wicket in his 2 overs, conceding 8 runs. So we will take a short break, because I would think it's fair to say that this total is an undercooked total, and the Texas Legends will only have to score 77 runs to win this first match here that we're covering this weekend in the 2024 Houston Youth Premier League. 10-minute break or so, and then we'll be back on air shortly. Welcome back to the Prairie View Cricket Complex for the end of this match between TCC Kings and the Texas Legends. TCC Kings having won the toss and chosen to bat, bundled out for 76 runs. So in order to get victory, Texas Legends will have to score, you would think, a number that should not bother them greatly. 77 runs is a decent score to chase in 10 overs. You wouldn't think that this opening pair would have much trouble getting to that type of total. And I think there is some effort to sort of invert the batting lineup because the batters are not ordinarily who you'd expect to see batting or opening the batting. We'll get through the exact batters in just a second as the bowler is going to be Ritvik Ramesh. So your opening batters are going to be Rinyesh Jayachandran and Arav Ashok. And Ritvik Ramesh has this ball played away to the offside for 4, just off the back foot, a bit wide, a bit too short for the spinner. Taken full toll by Rinyesh Jayachandran. I mentioned that I suspect a bit of an inverted bowling attack or batting attack. You'd expect that the batters would be, for example, Rishi Ramesh and 1 or 2 other luminaries in the batting lineup. But it appears as though with a relatively low total to chase, they're giving some batters who ordinarily don't get the chance to bat the opportunity to bat up the order. So 1 delivery, make that 2 deliveries into the chase. And the score is already 4 without loss and only 73 runs needed. In the air, it doesn't carry to mid-off, and then it gets through mid-off. So a loose. Oh, and then more overthrows. It just gets by, and they'll get 1 and maybe 2 additional ones. Yet they'll get 2 additional runs, so 3 total. I started saying if you're chasing or if you're defending a low total, all of your disciplines have to be on point. And needless to say, from that standpoint, that was not the case. An overthrow, not backing up, and this now brings to the wicket of a shock. So with the ball earlier, now he's opening the batting. A little bit of turn on from Ramesh. The scorecard says Mark Sagiababu. I can guarantee you that that bowler is not Mark Sagiababu. And I'm assuming it is Rishi Ramesh. Not Rishi, I'm sorry, Ritvik Ramesh. Tossed up. Looks to play it off the back foot. No run. And we'll get confirmation on the bowler as soon as we have it. I believe, again, this is Ritvik Ramesh. But having trouble reading this jersey number. Goes by the outside edge. Dot ball to close things out. So starts a little bit expensive, but ends well. 7 runs coming from the over. End of over number 1. The score is without loss. One over bowled, score 7 without loss. And this over now from the Forest end is going to be bowled by Ajay Prithviraj. And he'll be bowling to Rinesh Jayachandran. Looking to defend a relatively low total. From here, Texas Legends only need to score at the rate of 3.68 runs and over. 3.68 runs and over does not appear to be very challenging. And 10 wickets in hand, you would think that all the cards are being held here by the Texas Legends. First ball is outside off. That ball goes through for no run. So opening the bowling with 2 spinners, 1 fielder in the deep at deep mid wicket. Everyone else is inside the circle. Tossed up. A little bit of turn, goes to square leg for no run. So to the extent that you have very little opportunity to defend this total, but you have to tell yourself that you have to put yourself in a position of being able to build pressure. But the way you don't build pressure is by bowling a long hop that gets hit over the top of long on 6. Powerful strike. Arava Ashok is a very powerfully built young man, and that first ball that dropped short is absolutely powered away for 6. So the first 6, in fact, the first 6 of the match, and the 3 deliveries into over number 2, you're already at 13 runs, only another 64 needed. And now you're dropping a fielder back into the deep at long on. Here's Prithviraj again. Tossed up, works it off the back foot down to that fielder at long on, just a single. Delivers remaining number 2. Ajay Prithviraj starting out a little expensive, dropping third short and being hit over the top of 6. But he just now has to try to bowl some dot balls, get a string of dot balls going. That helps. In fact, this doesn't help because it was a little bit too straight. Worked into the deep. That's Aryan Tamala who does the cleanup work. So the chase itself is starting to feel very inevitable at this point. Again, you're looking at this point only to score another 62 runs, and you have all of 109 balls in which to score them. So the job is much easier with each single that's scored. Tossed up, straight down the ground for 4. Really good strike. And a job that I said is going to be easy is even made easier. Putting away that one straight down the ground. 4 runs to close things out in over number 2. That is 12 runs that came from that over. 7 from over number 1. After 2, the score is 19 without loss. Starting over number 3, 19 without loss. Another 58 runs needed to be scored by the Texas Legends. This ball is outside off, too far outside off. Have to let that one, have to re-bowl that one. And I believe, as I said a couple of times, the bowler, according to the scorecard, is Mark Sagiababu. That is not accurate. We'll confirm exactly who the bowler is. I believe it's Ritvik Ramesh. This is pulled away into the deep. Work up there for deep mid-wicket. Good work, sliding and stopping and saving 2 runs for his side. Even though you're essentially staring down what is a pretty one-sided match at this point, you still want the fielders to give that effort in the field. And so you like to see that fielder at deep mid-wicket throwing himself around in that manner. Next delivery, tossed up, played into the offside. No run there. So again, just it is a really, really long way toward respectability here for the TCC Kings. But whatever it would be with regard to respectability would begin with just stringing together some dot balls. That's one. As the throw comes in, or to the striker's end. 2 balls remaining now in over number 3. And once again, you're looking only to defend. From here, 3.12 runs and over to win. That set up earlier in the day. That type of rate is essentially a test match scoring rate. So at a T20 or in a T20, you would not expect for there to be much difficulty. Down the ground, that is well hit, and it goes straight down the ground. Sliding stop. Good work from the fielder coming across from long on. But 2 more runs, a double to Rinyesh Jayachandran, who appears to be off, looking to close this match out quickly. Earlier, my comments about the 6, I think I might have attributed to Aravashok. It's actually Rinyesh Jayachandran. So he's now 20 from 9 with 2 fours and a 6. And with 1 ball now remaining in over number 3, tossed up, played into the offside. A dot ball closes things out in 3. End of 3, 25 without loss. Well, first delivery is in over number 4, and you don't take 10 wickets without first taking 1. And you've just seen the fall of the first wicket as Ajay Prithviraj delivers a ball that Aravashok plays all around and gets cleaned up. So that is the first wicket to fall in this chase. Just looking at this delivery again, turning from outside the line of off stump, turning and beating the inside edge and going on to kiss off stump. So that's a good delivery, flighted. It's an off spinner's dream to a right-hander. have him coming forward for the big drive and then having that ball come back in, turning in off the pitch and kissing the outside edge. So that is the first wicket. 25 for 1 is the score. Shot is dismissed. 4 from 9 with no boundaries, of course. And that now brings to the crease the captain himself, Rishi Ramesh. Rishi Ramesh, and as I said last week, not just the captain of the Texas Legends side, but also the captain of the USA U19 team. And really a brilliant batter. Also a member of the Dallas Mustangs. Mentioned Aaron Tamala is in that setup. Rishi Ramesh, also a member of that side in the minor league system here in the U.S. And I think that you'll see here that he's not going to take a whole lot of time. You don't want to sort of go in at half speed. I think he'll want to get this game over with quickly. Working this one, playing with a straight bat to a short mid wicket. What I was meaning by that is if you stick around long enough and give the TCC Kings the opportunity to think they're still in the game, then you'll help them come into it. But Rishi Ramesh, I would think, is going to be one who wants to take the game to them, not give them any sniff of potential victory or even hope. What you'd want to do is just essentially put them out of their misery. Gets off the mark here with a single, so that means just another 52 balls, so make that 52 runs remaining. Ajay Prithviraj continuing. Straight down the ground, there should be 4 more. That is hit very straight, powerfully struck, flat, not in the air, but flat, hit solidly past the bowler. Mid-on is inside the circle, mid-off is too far away from where that ball ended up. Went straight down the ground, and that is a boundary. That is the third 4 struck by Rinesh Jayachandran. And it means now with 2 balls remaining here in over number 4, you are already well ahead of where you're wanting to be. 30 is the score. You still only need another 47 with all kinds of time left and all kinds of balls left. 98 balls to go. Flat and hammered away for 4 more. This is dropped a little too short. Onto the back foot in a flash, Jayachandran, and pulling it over the outstretched arm of the fielder at mid-wicket. Consecutive 4s with 1 ball remaining here in over number 4. That stroke brings you to 34. You're approaching the halfway stage of the chase in terms of the number of runs that you need, but you're still way, way ahead of the game. 97 balls remaining. Your required rate from here is 2.6. So under no circumstances would you ever anticipate that it would take all the way down to 2.6 runs and over, coming to a close in the 20th. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to end up trying to win this game inside 10 overs. 4 overs or 1 ball remaining in the 4th over. Tossed up in the air and 4 more. Piercing the gap between extra cover and mid-off. So 3 consecutive 4s to close out over number 4. 4-4-4 in over number 4. And at the end of 4, 38 runs, 39 needed. You're just at the halfway stage in terms of the number of runs needed. And only 1 wicket has fallen. So you're well ahead of the game this time. Texas Legends, 38 for 1. So 38 for 1 is the score after 4. When you need to score at the rate of 2.44 to win, and you're scoring at the rate of 9.5, let's just say the odds are in your favor to take victory here. So Rishi Ramesh will be facing up to who I believe is Ritvik Ramesh. Again, the scorecard says Mark Sagia Babu. That is absolutely not right. Mark Sagia Babu is a right-handed fast bowler, and this is not what you're seeing here. But here's not Mark Sagia Babu, who's starting his third over. 2 overs so far. And, okay, that's the correction on the scorecard. It is Ritvik Ramesh. And he's now into his third over. So the scorecard will definitely need to be adjusted. Starting his third over. Figures so far, well, his figures have disappeared from the screen because they were all initially on the Mark Sagia Babu. Not the case, of course. Rishi Ramesh facing up to Ritvik Ramesh. This is punched just with a straight bat down to mid-on for a single. So with that single, you're now at the more than the halfway point in terms of the runs needed. You're at 39. You need another 38. 38 runs needed in the next 94 deliveries. Now it's going to be Rinesh Jayachandran on strike. Good delivery by Ritvik Ramesh. And in the sense of looking to try to slow down this march toward what is almost certainly going to be a victory. This is hammered straight down the ground. That is Aaron Tamala down there, I believe. And that's just a single. But as I was saying, in the march to pull back the type of momentum that has been built, what you're trying to do is just at least get to the point where you have a few dot balls strung together. Haven't been able to do that with any amount of consistency yet. These opening bowlers tossed up, and that is hammered over the top. That's going to go all the way, couple of bounces toward the deep extra cover fence. Pull back before it gets to the boundary though. So they'll just get a couple here. Rishi Ramesh looking now to join the hitting party, facing the man whose name almost sounds exactly like his, Ritvik Ramesh. And the last ball now in over number 5, about to be bowled. And my sense, again, is that this pair is not going to mess around with these runs. Hammered down the ground. It's going to be fielded by mid-on. Make that long on. That's Aaron Tamala down there. Single to close things out here in over number 5. A quarter of the way through in terms of the number of overs, maximum number of overs to be bowled, but another 34 runs is all they need. Texas Legends. You would think that this game would be over before the 10 over mark. 43 for 1 after 5. Porter 3 for 1. First delivery in over number 6 is too far outside the line of off stump for the liking of umpire Sagar Babsar. This is going to be a pretty tall order here for the bowlers. 2.27 runs and over is all they are able to have defended, and I don't think that there's going to be much utility in trying to stretch this game out. Tossed up, full toss down here. I almost had a catching opportunity. It goes by me for 6. That's going to need to be cleaned up. You don't want to bowl very many full tosses, but I think the bonus here is that, or the benefit, if there is such a thing, is that this game is going to be over with in a few short strokes if those are the deliveries that you're going to continue bowling. That stroke, by the way, bringing up the 50, struck straight down the ground. By the way, this bowler is going to be Moksh Gupta. Gupta, 1 legal delivery bowled, 7 runs conceded, the wide plus the 6. Full toss again, and it's going to be dragged into the gap for 4 more. Not struck as cleanly this time by Rishi Ramesh, but I tell you, it's not going to really make a big difference. From this stage, if you're not going to be able to get that ball pitching in the right areas, then it really doesn't matter where the field is set, because a good batter is going to find ways to score from loose deliveries. So that now means that you only need another 23 runs to win this match, and it is going to be a comprehensive victory by the Texas Legends. Rishi Ramesh now up to 15 from 8. Better delivery. That's more the line and the length that you need to be bowling. At least challenge them. Make them hit your good balls. That really is what you need to be telling yourself. And if you're continuing to bowl these types of deliveries, then you at least give them something to do. Skied, and it's going to be 6. Much, much higher, but it goes all the way, and you might have heard that bang off of the side screen. Rishi Ramesh going right down the ground for a huge 6. The deficit is now 17. That brings up 60. My goodness. And this is going to be a really easy chase. Doesn't require a whole lot more runs. In fact, only 1.19 needed per over, and that is not going to bother anyone. Played off the back foot into the covers, no run. Much of the damage has already been done. 17 from the over so far with 1 ball to come. And let's see exactly how this last one goes, because again, Rishi Ramesh is going to be looking to attack, I would think. And this is going to be wide off mid-on. A single taken to close things out in over number 6. End of the power play looks very different from the end of the power play when the TCC Kings were batting. At the end of their power play, they had 45 runs on the board and they'd lost about 5 wickets. As of now, 61 for 1 is the score here for the Texas Legends at the end of power play. 6 up, 61 for 1. Six overs up, 61 for 1. Rishi Ramesh facing up to Ritvik Ramesh. Played down the ground, single, all day, every day. Work down the ground. And it is now going to be Rinesh Jayachandran to continue, who had been the main destructive force so far, but Rishi Ramesh has joined him. This is elevated over the top, going toward deep extra cover. Sliding stop down there in the boundary from the fielder coming across from long off. And that's a couple more runs. He now moves up to 35 from 16 balls faced. And maybe if you're looking for score lines storylines the rest of the way, one of the storylines might be if Rinesh Jayachandran can get to 50. This is launched down the ground, up in the air, and goes all the way for 6. So, as I said, if the drama could be potentially whether he gets to 50, you might see whether or not that is the answer to that question, because you only need another 7. In fact, it may not be possible. Well, I guess you could potentially try to maneuver ways. You only need 7 more runs, and he has 41 against his name. So you could try to play some tricks. I don't think they will. They'll just try to get this match over with. Push through, hammered, in the air, deep mid-wicket. It goes for 6, did it? Nope, went for 4. So 6 and 4, that means another 3 runs are remaining. Rinesh Jayachandran gets to 45. If he hits a 6, he can get to his 50 and win the game. But you only need 3 more runs. So the only way that happens is is if he hits a 6. And you might have heard his teammates yelling, 1 more 6. So here's the delivery. He tries to get the 6. Does he get it? He does get the 6. And that is the end of the game. Rinesh Jayachandran gets to 50 and simultaneously pulls his team over the finish line in what really was just a very dominating performance. That is the end of the game. Texas Legends winning by 9 wickets. And boy, the Texas Legends making short work of this chase. Aravashok bowled for 4, but the rest of batters, the other 2 batters, making this look really very easy. Rishi Ramesh, captain, 23 from 13, 1 4 and 2 6s. But Rinesh Jayachandran, 51 from 19 with 6 4s and 3 6s, the last of which won the game for his side. The bowlers combine the figures that you see for Mark Sagiababu and Rithvik Ramesh, because those are both the same person. So Ramesh, 3.5 overs, doing quick math here, 37 runs conceded and no wickets taken. Ajay Prithviraj took the lone wicket to fall, 2 overs, 1 for 25. That is the end of the game. A pretty dominating performance overall. The TCC Kings having won the toss, choosing to bat, and that, unfortunately for them, proved to be their undoing. So that ends the game. We end about an hour earlier than we ordinarily would have. Pretty convincing victory for the TCC Kings, for the Texas Legends, taking victory over the TCC Kings by 9 wickets. That is the end of the play for this match. Join us later on this afternoon, where we'll have another exciting matchup in the 2024 Houston Youth Premier League. That second match that is coming up today, featuring the Texas Skywalkers against these same TCC Kings. TCC Kings will hope to make a better account for themselves than they did here. That is the end of the match. Join us later on this afternoon. Talk to you soon.